I've always read comics. I've always liked them. I like the visual aspect of them. I like the way that people look in them. I've always liked the way that, you know, they talk, and they've evolved a lot over the years. So I still, you know, collect comics and go in and buy them, and they're all very different now.
And he's not the only one. Batman, Spider-Man, the X-Men, these iconic heroes have inspired generations of kids, and some of those kids have grown up to be movie stars. Even some of the world's biggest stars have their favourite comic characters.
I've kind of always had an affection for Superman. Superman's always been that character which I've associated with the most, as much as one can associate with a superpowered alien. But Superman's kind of the guy I feel very lucky to be playing, the one which I liked.
Superman. I mean, initially I think it was just because he was really cute. I was young, I didn't understand everything. But as I grew up, I loved the idea of this sort of seemingly so human superhero that also had these amazing powers, but his ultimate thing is that he was kind, he was fair, he's just like perfect in my mind as a kid, yeah.
Look, acting is something I've wanted to do my whole life, and that started when I was young, and I just played superheroes all the time, and would dress up as, you know, Spider-Man, or I used to dress up as Superman, and I would wear my underwear on the outside of my pajamas, because that's what Superman does.
My son, I'll never forget his face when he walked on set and I was wearing the Iron Man suit. He was like, his little face was like, Mommy, you know?
As an actor, I'm used to playing different parts, you know, and Bruce Wayne, you know, is a role in effect in this movie. You know, he puts on this this act as Bruce Wayne, the billionaire playboy, and Batman, you know, in a way is a character and a role as well. So he's a guy who's living, you know, living double identities, and obviously I can identify a little bit with that, although I don't fight crime.
Batman's the most troubled of heroic figures and the most troubling of heroic figures.
The surprise was that they would put me on the list, as it were. But the surprise for them was, hey, I did know the comic Thor, and actually I know comics reasonably well, and also I go to see these movies, so I was literate in their world.
Everything Wonder Woman stands for, I stand for. She's all about love, equality, passion, truth, and justice. She's such a whole lot of woman, of a woman, and she inspires me, and I just love her.
But just what is it about these stories that keeps us all coming back for more?
The main essential theme that runs through the entire X-Men Chronicles, I suppose, in every medium, I suppose, is that of the outsider. And I think that's something that appeals to us as a race, because we've all felt like the outside at some point in our life, and I think that's why X-Men in particular appeals to people so much.
I think people like to escape the reality. I think the reality, you know, something might be too harsh for people, so sometimes they like escapism, they like fantasy, they like to be able to see themselves in characters that they may not be able to, you know, ever be, but it's kind of cool to imagine it, and imagination is a powerful thing.
You know, it's interesting. These characters have been around for a long, long time. They've endured through all kinds of different political and cultural environments in the world. So, I mean, one of the most interesting things is how they've just proven so adaptable. You know what I mean? It could be resonant in the 1950s and in the 1960s. It was a big part of the culture then, in the same way that it's a part of the culture now, and it's radically different. So there's something at the core of this character that people find compelling, and I wish I knew exactly what it was, but they've been successful for longer than I've been alive.